For Gold Rush's most famous miners, Season 15 has been an absolute roller coaster. Schnabel Parker, who has been a dominant Klondike miner for many years, is currently experiencing one of his most challenging seasons to date. As Parker battles with setbacks that could cost him dearly, Tony is cashing in big, beating the Klondike King and amassing gold at an incredible rate. The devastating defeat of Parker Schnabel. A mining tycoon, Parker Schnabel has beaten the opposition to the punch. It seems like bad luck is following everyone this season, no matter how hard they try. Equipment breakdowns are only one of many obstacles that Parker must overcome to keep his operation running smoothly. He is frantic to find a solution because of the scarcity of workers and the crushing lack of pay dirt. The complete inaccessibility of one of his vital locations was a devastating blow. Parker is already strapped for cash due to his ambitious 3-wash plant plans. Any downtime would be disastrous. When unanticipated problems caused him to stop production, that is precisely what transpired, costing thousands of dollars every hour. In order to get back on his feet, Parker must act quickly. Until the end of the season. Not only that, but Parker is also under more pressure than ever before from his crew. Some are wondering if they should remain due to low morale, frequent breakdowns, and a delayed return of gold. Parker's leadership is under unprecedented scrutiny, and his capacity to inspire and drive his players will dictate whether he can reverse the current trend and alleviate his problems. Because some of his new cuts have not worked out as planned, Parker has had to dig deeper, both literally and financially, to stay in the game, which is becoming more difficult given his limited time and the increasing costs of his customary approach of discovering fresh, high-yielding territory. A life-or-death decision awaits Parker. Tony triumphs over a huge payoff while Parker faces tragedy. Tony Beets has a gold mine under his feet. This seasoned miner is literally making more money than ever before thanks to his daring investments and no-nonsense leadership. His prime acreage, extensive fleet of equipment, and decades of experience are all paying off handsomely. Tony hit the jackpot with his most recent gamble, reviving an old abandoned cut, and is now reaping large returns from his wash facilities, which are operating at full capacity. Pounds in cash are piling up for the Beets crew. Tony, according to some sources, has a real chance of setting a new record for most gold retrieved in a single season. However, Tony's achievements aren't due solely to chance. Everything he has worked for, including meticulous planning, constant investment in top-notch machinery, and solid relationships with his workers, is finally paying off. Tony, in contrast to Parker, has a solid crew of seasoned miners that know what they're doing and can get the job done. He is able to extract gold at a rate never seen before because of how efficient it is. Will Parker be able to overcome all obstacles? After all, he has never been one to give up. He must muster the will to win because his reputation and millions of money are at risk. As soon as they locate new pay dirt, his crew fixes his operations. Will it be sufficient to overtake Tony Beets, who is poised for a career-best season? The capacity to adapt over time is a major aspect that could work in Parker's favor. Whether it's acquiring new equipment, negotiating better land agreements, or pushing his team harder, he usually finds a way to overcome obstacles by proving himself to be a problem solver. As luck would have it, Parker always finds a way to make a good situation better. One potential strength of Parker's character is his daring attitude. In contrast to Tony's methodical, long-term strategy, Parker isn't afraid to take risks, which have paid off handsomely on occasion. Season 15 of Gold Rush continues, and he has a fighting chance of making a stunning return if he seizes the correct moment before the end of the season. Never before have the stakes been so high. Is Tony Beets going to walk away with the highest payoff of the season, or will Parker bounce back from his heartbreaking losses? The struggle for Klondike Gold is definitely not done yet. One of the showies has had their luck turned around in Season 15 of Gold Rush. Parker Schnabel is now in second place in the gold, which is a change from prior seasons. The question is on the minds of many. If Parker uses his 3-wash strategy to its maximum potential, will he be able to defeat Tony Beets for the remainder of the season? Approach: a long simmering competition. Among the most fascinating plot points in Gold Rush annals is the conflict between Parker Schnabel and Tony Beets. Parker and Tony have been in direct rivalry ever since Parker first appeared on the mining scene as a young upstart. Their rivalry has provided some of the most exciting moments of the show, with Tony, an old hand, relying on his decades of knowledge in prime real estate to remain ahead, while Parker, a relative newcomer, has built his business from the bottom up. Land strategy and equipment have been points of contention between the two throughout the years. Tony and Parker have a history of feuding, although their friendship has been tested on multiple occasions due to Parker's tendency to rent out ground. They have mutual respect for one another because they are both aware of the difficulties and dangers inherent with Tony's gold mining. The 15th season's dominance. Tony Beets has always been a dominant force in Klondike, but he has reached new heights in season 15 with to his astute property acquisitions, efficient fleet of wash plants, and well-trained personnel. Tony now owns millions of dollars in gold and is ahead of Parker. Because he reopened an abandoned cut, he was able to process huge volumes of pay dirt effectively, and the decision paid off handsomely. Tony, in contrast to Parker, has stuck to a steady, systematic approach, investing extensively in his infrastructure and making sure everything runs well. He has been able to persevere through challenging times thanks to his wisdom and resilience. Plus, he appears to be experiencing a fortunate year overall. Tony has the capacity to keep his equipment in excellent condition, which is a major advantage since it reduces the expensive downtime that Parker has been experiencing recently. Tony's enormous prospecting enterprise, that many questioned in previous seasons, is paying dividends with the passage of time as well. Refining and investment. In the long run, the contentious idea is paying off. Tony gains an advantage over Parker in their uphill battle thanks to the producer. Despite his reputation for bold and daring mining strategies, Parker Schnabel is having a tough season. Despite his history of outperforming his competition, he is currently facing numerous obstacles that are limiting his performance. A number of factors, including operational inefficiencies, labor shortages, and equipment malfunctions, have reduced the rate of his gold production. Running 3 wash plants at once has been one of Parker's biggest bets this season, a plan created to optimize the recovery of gold. This strategy could be incredibly effective, but it would also put a strain on his resources even when things are going swimmingly. One must not underestimate the power of Parker's organization. A mechanical malfunction or a delay in pay dirt, for example, could cause operations to come to a standstill. Along with technical difficulties, Parker is facing challenges in retaining crew members due to high turnover rates and the requirement for experienced hands. He is also seeing difficulties in locating competent personnel who can keep up with the intense pace of his business. Problem, in contrast to Tony, who has a devoted workforce that has been around for all these years. In addition to all his other problems, Parker is always training new employees and firing old ones, which has a negative effect on productivity. Since some of Parker's new cuts have failed to materialize, he has had to dig deeper, both literally and monetarily, to remain in the game, despite the fact that he has limited time and resources. Whoever comes out on top in this do-or-die circumstance will be Parker. Parker and Tony's animosity is at an all-time high. Despite Tony's present advantage, Parker has shown that he excels when challenged. Parker has a good chance of regaining lost ground if he can fix his operational problems and maintain full capacity at all 3 wash plants. Adaptability is a key factor that could work in Parker's favor. He has shown time and time again that he can solve problems creatively, whether it's by sourcing new machinery, negotiating better land deals, or simply pushing his team harder. Parker is quite good at making the most of less than ideal circumstances. While Tony prefers to play the long game with measured, steady movements, Parker may have the upper hand due to his risk-taking attitude. Whenever Parker spots the perfect opportunity before the season finishes, he has a history of taking huge risks that have paid off handsomely. A stunning return to form might be within his reach. In the meanwhile, Tony's strengths continue to be his calm hand and wealth of knowledge. He is well versed in the industry's ebbs and flows, and given his present trajectory, is not expected to slow down. No matter who wins the season, Tony's lead over Parker could grow insurmountable if he acquires another high-paying claim, given his history of savvy land acquisitions. The mining competition between Tony and Parker is far from ended. Both men have established lucrative businesses that will be around for a long time. Despite his season-long problems, Parker remains a youthful and ambitious player. The lessons he takes away from this experience might help him become a more formidable rival down the road. But Tony keeps proving why he's one of the Klondike's most revered miners. His skill and determination have allowed him to transform faltering companies into gold-producing behemoths. He may be ahead of Parker at the moment, but he is aware that Parker is constantly on the lookout for ways to jump ahead, just like a gold rush. Season 15 will go on. Watching these two mining behemoths go head-to-head is sure to be exciting. Parker versus Tony is, without a doubt, the most intense rivalry in the Klondike gold mining industry. Continue reading to find out what happens in this showdown. Just tell me what you need. I want to hear it all. Explain to me what it is that you require. Fill me in on what it is that you require. Please enlighten me.